wants us to love him. If you're forced to love someone, you can never truly love them, right? But if you are given the choice, if you're said, hey, if the other person says, I love you unconditionally, I just love you, you are my child, I love you, right? But there's no strings attached. There aren't any strings attached. Because if there are strings attached, then it's not true love. God gave us free will so that we can love him, like truly learn to love him. He gave us free will. This is what I believe, okay? He gave us free will. God, correct me if I'm wrong, but I prayed about this before I said it. God gave us free will so that we may love him more purely. Not more purely. God gave us free will so that we can love him like he wants us to love him with, like, by choice. He wants us to choose to love him, because it's not true love if you are forced. If you're forced to love someone, it's not true. Okay? So don't try to be forcing people to love you, because it's not going to work. Gotta go under this tree again. Anyway, you can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to do, right? Since we're given free will. We also sin is among us. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how that works out, but since we're given free will, we have free will to sin, right? And since we have free will to sin, there are other people around us who also have free will to sin, right? Follow me here. And if all those people sin and choose to sin, then we have a dysfunctional world, right? That is why a lot of us grow up. All right, y'all. Hey. Hi, y'all. This is where it truly all begins. I've been beating around the bush a bit. God has told me that it's time. So this I came to you hold on. That is why a lot of us grow up in dysfunctional households. That is why there is so much dysfunction in this world. That's why there's wars, right? It's a choice within. It's a choice of every free man to sin or to turn your life to Christ, right? Only one is perfect, it's God, right? And his son, Jesus Christ. They are one and the same. They are perfect. Christ gave us the Holy Spirit. All right, I know that's getting a little too deep for some of y'all. The point is, if you're not a Christian right now, that's fine. I'm not asking you to become a Christian right now. I'm just asking you, from within, if everyone from within decided, hey, today, you know what, I'm going to make good choices. I'm going to be kind to others. I'm going to go for a bike ride instead of, you know, taking a hit of this joint or whatever I have, right? If everyone chose the good choices in life, then it would change the world for the better. Okay? If everybody chose the bad choices, it would do the same. Therefore, there is a saying I've heard that someone told me one time. I didn't understand it at first, but I understand it now. So, don't take this the wrong way, but they said, what is the biggest problem in this world? What is the biggest problem in this world? Right? If you have problems, what is the biggest problem in your world? They said, you know what? The biggest problem is you. At first, I got offended. It's like, wait, what? Me? I'm the biggest problem in my world? No, you don't understand. See, there's this girl. She just like drives me insane. Anyway, no. The thing is, it comes from within. You change yourself. You influence others around you. They change themselves. They can influence others for the better. So yes, from inside, that is the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem. The only thing you can change is you. It's the only thing you have control over. So, yeah, that's the biggest problem. I heard the story about a guy that was in a concentration camp, Nazi ruled Germany, and every morning he woke up and decided that he was going to make it, he was going to brighten the world around him. So instead of waking up and being upset and complaining or grumbling or thinking about how hungry he was, he woke up and decided to be as positive as he could and say good morning to everyone, and with a smile. And that's the thing. It's like it helped others around him. Just him saying good morning. Yeah, he shouldn't have been enslaved in Nazi Germany, but he couldn't change it. So the best thing he could do was to change himself within and change his thoughts from within. So that's your thoughts for the day. We'll go into more detail later. I gotta get back to work.